The Pegasus Lancer is the first heavy assault transport I'm getting my hands on, and the first thing to separate is what the game lists from what the ship actually shows. It is advertised with 8 total weapon slots, 4 of them gimbaled, but visually the clear gimbal layouts sits port and starboard, one mount facing forward and the other one facing aft. That gives the Lancer a different profile from the straight-on nose type fighters. This looks less like pure forward damage, more like a coverage platform built around firing arcs, defensive angles, and position control. The real surprise here is its mass. It's 25.5 tons dry, actually comes in lighter than the Kolibri-class light fighters, but it only has 4,700 Newton meters of thrust between its two main thrusters. So the test is whether the Lancer's gimbal coverage and dual thruster layout can offset that low thrust once contract pressure starts. Alright you guys, I'm going to do this video a little bit different. Welcome back to In the Black. I'm SethOnDuty, looking at the Pegasus hardpoints to begin with, because I've noticed an oddity. Everything seems fine. We have weapon hardpoint, front lower port, front lower starboard, rear M, I guess middle. Yeah, must be mid port. So that seems fine, right? And then rear, middle, starboard. However, these also face rear, so that's an interesting take on this. But if you look here, this says starboard missile bay. And if you click on it, okay, so we're looking at the starboard side. Seems to be this spot right here is what it's focusing on. So probably this little hard point right here. There's no gimbal there. Not only that, you actually can't replace the gimbal with anything, nor can you remove it. I'm clicking on remove, it's not working. So something I will do, just for the testing the full capacity of the ship and survivability, I'm going to add extra hardpoints. We have them available, so why not? A little strange that it advertises only 4 gimbaled mounts, and there's actually 6, but I don't fully understand. I'm a little scared that this is also not going to work properly, so let's just go with the GSU 118s. Okay, so it looks like it's inside of the ship. What is going on? I haven't tested this before, you guys. So I'm imagining there's some sort of control we have to hit to open up those missile flaps. So I'm going to look at the settings real quick and look at systems or weaponry. I don't see weapon flap in there. I know there's a way to deploy sensors. That's this one. And that's all I really see. So if I'm missing something, please let me know. I'd be happy to come back and test this out some more. But I don't see it in the control. Unless there's something that I'm missing. But let's just see how the test goes. Hopefully I don't shoot myself with those weapons sticking out. So, oh, in this ship, of course, we can try the ship strike. Level 2, I think. No, let's go level 3. Full send. Let's go. Let's go. Party hard. So hopefully everybody's day is going well. Mine certainly is. Had a good day. We, at the time of this recording, of course, I record all of these well in advance. By about, let's say 3 months in advance. So wait a second. There's something strange going on with our camera. Right away, I'm noticing we have thrusters going on in the ship.
Target locked.
And we don't have access to our other hard points. So far, pretty good point of aims, though. So yeah, this is a slightly lighter class ship than even this Kolibri we're facing down. So let's get after him. Where's he running to? And yeah, the thrusting is actually it's pretty decent thrust, but
you are targeted.
It's not the greatest. And then of course our vectoring. Yeah, we're doing okay. I'm also a little confused about where the cockpit actually is.
You are targeted.
It actually has pretty good maneuverability, though. I was expecting it to be very sluggish. Holy crap. Sorry about that. Turn the volume of that down.
Temperature status.
Let's go a little bit lower. That's another thing that happened. For some reason, my OBS studio lost all its profiles, so I had to reset up and reconfigure my entire recording software before recording today, so that's always fun. Come on, bro. We're gonna get you. At least our laser weapons seem to keep firing focus. Can I hit it with the right then? No, huh? Oh yeah. Oh, we're hitting them with some decent damage.
Temperature status.
Of course, we're at 69% integrity now ourselves. But yeah, maneuverability so far a little sluggish with the gyro, but seems very responsive. Well, look at all the RCS, right? There are so many RCS on this. There we go. We're finally flying back towards him. Oh, he's approaching us. Take him down. Oh, we were about to hit him. We did it, though. Pretty fun. A bit more tanky, but it can take on a Kolibri, so that's a good sign. Alright, where is our target? Like, behind us, huh? Alright. Yes,
propulsion status.
Very sluggish. And yeah, our propulsion now we're at 58%. With 54% integrity. It's not great. Okay, our thrust forward thrusting seems to be pretty responsive though. So we're getting on station. Ah, we win. And we took down a ship, so that's good. Yeah, sorry about the loud music, you guys. I didn't realize it was that loud. I have it now at -8 decibels. We'll see how the video turns out anyway. I did do a test earlier of that. But yeah, that's just the way she goes. So, a little strange. Did I not set up the... Yeah, the missile bays, my weapons that I purchased are gone. So, unless they update this, don't put weapons in these Cradle slots, you guys. It's not going to work. I'm actually upset about that, because I spent money on that, and now that puts me behind. Mind you, the GSU ones only cost 20,000 each, so what, I gotta do 2 contracts? It's just a little strange that you can't actually put missiles on them. I did reload the game after purchasing and initially looking at it, and still couldn't seem to not get our missile points. Regardless, let's try this level 3 search and destroy. I'm fingers crossed that I survived better than the Kolibri did. Yeah, it's just weird. At least the Kolibri does have the working missile pods on it.
Merc, this is Control. We bribed a ton of CorpSec stooges to get you in that mine. Now move out.
Alright, here we go. We're just gonna stay with our... Whoa. What's happening? It does seem to drift a little bit. I don't know why. What's going on? Oh, is that because of that bot? That's funny. No, it just seems to want to drift upwards for some reason in external cam. Oh yeah, it's real sluggish on the left and right. Let's test up and down. Yeah, it's about just as sluggish up and down. Understandable. It's supposed to be a heavy transport, but it's lighter than the Kolibri. I don't understand. The medium class vessels are actually heavier than this heavy transport. Also, so for future episodes, if I come back to patches and whatnot, I would like to know if you guys would enjoy seeing that. Because I'm enjoying the game. I love the gameplay. This is by far one of the best sims for all sorts of tight quarters and stuff, with the decent price point, I have to add. Who knows what it'll be in the future. I hope there isn't like that pay-to-win stuff. Okay, we took care of that turret. Let's take this off Sea-Wiz.
Nice work.
Gotcha.
Your DSS should display your next target.
We're just gonna keep going through these tunnels. But that is my plan for the channel, is to go and play this as patches come out and keep us updated on the news of this game. I think it's very worthwhile. So the reason I record so many videos in advance, I have a big... Whoa. I have about a month of training in July, and leading into August. Yeah, take him down! Shoot him down! Yeah! He's down. Going into August, I have a month-long vacation, so... Oh, that guy was floating around. Of course, this episode actually comes out in August, so it's funny that I'm talking from the past, so far in the past. I do have a genuine concern that I'm going to be disconnected from the channel when I return in September. However, I'm disciplined enough. Like I said, I'm currently at 81 uploads ahead of schedule, and you can schedule the uploads on YouTube, so that's a really handy feature. Same with all the posts you see, and all that stuff. So that's a little bit of the behind the scenes of SethOnDuty. Holy crap. We're targeted. Get moving. Move your butt. Oh god. Go down. Oh, he destroyed a drone. We're still under fire though. Oh, we got an assist. So luckily, it seems collision damage doesn't really seem to be much of a factor. But you still don't want to smash into things too quickly here. Okay, what do we got?
You are targeted.
Oh no. That really hurt. Uh-oh. We're in trouble. Uh-oh, no, we're done. We got screwed. And we lost money. So decent in close quarters, but you should stay with your group and they'll cover your 6. Oh, here we go. Let's do a speed trial because I know I'm not gonna survive a head-to-head with any of these ships in this difficulty 4. Let's try this. I'm gonna take my time with it too. And by take my time, I'm gonna take my time, meaning like get to the waypoint safely and not just rush in or rush by it. That is within 4 kilometers right now. Huh. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of straight up vectoring also. So keep that in mind.
Bandit, coming in hot. You've reached
What do we
waypoint 1. Keep going.
Locked.
Roy's?
Unregistered ships were detected entering this area and went dark. Lots of them. Nothing has left the area, so we assume hostiles are hiding in the debris field, waiting to ambush the next convoy. They may be inactive and waiting for us to move through, so we need your Mark 1 eyeballs on this area.
Oh, shit. We just took a hit. We're at 34% integrity already.
You are targeted.
Temperature status.
Uh-oh. Missiles. Oh, they're coming from the right.
Target locked.
Oh, we're dead. Oh, we lost so much money, you guys. Oh, no. That's okay. If we go in the negative, that's what it is. It's in the black, you know? I'm in denial right now. But it's fine. This is fine. Let's try search and destroy. No, we already did that. We did a ship strike. So now it's time for a drone sweep. Let's try the level 2 drone sweep. So I think the difficulty level depends on not only your rank, like your level there, but also the ship that you're in. So there's a few factors I think that go into the difficulty factor of the mission, the contract. Okay, let's turn on the automated weapons here on the lasers. So I'll show you. The lasers are automated, and then I can have full control over my Gatling. Makes sense, right? Because the lasers, they overheat, sure, but I don't think there's much sense in keeping everything automated with CWIS. But that's just me. And yeah, it's a shame because I really wanted to be able to use missiles on this. So later on, when we're going through the analysis, we'll look at the actual cradles and what we can replace the quote-unquote real cradles with.
Target locked.
Okay, you up there, huh? Let's slow it down a bit. And make sure we're engaging one at a time here. We're at 190 meters per second. And our ally back there is slowly catching up. So we'll slow it down. So that's 10 kilometers away. You can head for the center of them, but I feel like that's just a death trap. Get our heading straight on, and then we'll open fire. Any of those land? They didn't seem to hit. Oh, 47%.
You
Your
are
DSS,
targeted.
aka Pigeon Betty, warns you when you're targeted.
You're done.
Target
Nice
targeted.
shot, Alpha 1.
Target locked.
And shoot this guy down. Come on,
Target
destroy it.
destroyed. Target you locked. Are targeted.
think we're good.
Target destroyed.
Yes, not bad. We're at 92% integrity, 99% propulsion. Moving forward. Okay, so it can handle stationary drones pretty well, alright? That does kind of come down to the pilot. Oh, let's stay with our ally, actually. Where are you? Oh, he's right below us. Nice. I'm pretty sure they're bots. Yeah.
Target locked.
See if any of those hit. Wait, we do have other enemies
Target
over here.
locked.
Smash that strike. Uh-oh, we gotta move up with this guy. Yeah, that's the guy we have to defend right there. So keep moving up with him. Try and catch up and overtake him a little bit. Okay, now our Meg Owls are
Targeted.
coming up.
Target locked.
We're taking hits, Alpha 1. You need to do better.
Imminent.
Okay,
Target
target
locked.
this guy.
Flight system deactivated.
Dang it. Let's just stay on their wing.
You are targeted. Destroyed.
Uh-oh.
Target locked.
Nope, I think we're done. We're taking just about as much damage as our ally here. And it's because we're overheating.
Try not to get killed, Alpha 1. We don't
Nope,
want to abort
we're
because
done.
you couldn't do your job.
Yep, gun pod killed us. So not very good for cutting through defenses like that with the current setup, the stock setup. There's one more, but we all know how these debris sweeps go. I might as well try and make some of that money back with this ship. So just for the test bed's sake, that we try each of the 4 or 5 mission types. Wait, let's see. Drone sweep, debris sweep. You have ship strike, search and destroy, and recon. Yes, there's 5 mission types. Obviously, I could have flown the recon a little bit better, I think, but the gist of it is there. If you can't really hold your own against one, then
Collision imminent.
you're not you're not going to survive very well against multiple enemies.
SLS Nairobi to strike Delta 4. We're counting on you.
Here we go. Let's move up. Here we go. And keep going up.
Flight
So,
system
Flight
deactivated.
system deactivated. Let's make sure we head up a bit. And now we have both sides engaging as required.
Temperature status.
Yeah, these owls are doing really good though, actually. Yeah, the CWIS seems to just waste quite a lot of ammo. So I'm not super excited about that. Let's turn around here. There. The bulk of them are kind of in front of us now, right? Oh yeah. Yeah, so debris sweep, absolutely no problem. It shouldn't be a problem in any ship because it's just destroying debris. Where's our vector? Yeah, we're okay. Let's just turn left a bit. That'll slow us down a little bit. We do seem to be outpacing. There we go.
Temperature status.
Let them catch up with us. And that's the last shot. Last medium there. Done. So we get some money back. It's going to take me a while to recuperate all this money. But I am having fun. That's the thing here. Okay, so we've done each of the 5. And if I were to do it in earnest with Recon, like we had moderate success in Ship Strike. That was pretty cool. Level 1 Recon, not really worth our time. Okay, let's move into the actual breakdown phase of the Pegasus. Here, the Lancer, Pegasus Lancer. So, like I said before, these 2 missile bays on either side just seem strange that you can't do anything with, and even if you assign a weapon to it, you don't get anything for it. So barring the weird missile bay issues we were having before, let's look at the other hard points critically. Survivability is actually pretty decent. It seemed to be armored enough that we could take some punishment, but not a whole lot. With the gimbal mounts, you can only have size 3 or lower. That means you will only ever be able to support size 2 weapons or lower. There are benefits to that. They don't cost as much. They're a lot cheaper to repair or replace. They don't overheat as quickly as some of the other ones that I've witnessed. And they are considerably lighter in mass or weight, if you will, and don't affect your maneuverability as much. That being said, since all these hard points are the same size, you don't really have a lot of options. So the lower starboard front facing is the same as the front lower port. So these can have the optional, the ball gimbal, which might be a good shot. What was I going to say? A good option. Also with your forward facing, it appears we have fixed mounts up to size 3. So fixed weapon, size 3 laser, size 3 GSU 213, and size 3 missiles. So again, with the missiles, this could be a decent missile platform because of that size 3 option. And they're all front facing, so wherever you're facing, you will fire missiles. But it calls into question the way that the ship is advertised. At this present moment, we are in 1696 of the early access. Now let's look at the rear mounted. So these ones, of course, face rear by default, but when you're fighting, they turn wherever they need to turn, because this gimbal mount has full range yaw, so that means horizontally to its axis, and up almost 90 degrees upwards with the size 3 cradle. It would be a little odd that we could mount. I can't even mount that. I was going to say, oh, I'll try to mount this, but I can't. What if we remove the gimbal and assign... What? Okay, it didn't remove. Oh, it did. It's on this side. Okay, so this was what I was referring to. This is what I was trying to test out. If you replace your gimbal with a fixed mount, it's facing backward. So that's not inherently wrong. It's not bad. The only drawbacks you actually have, though, is that your 2 engines back here are huge targets. So if you're going to face your enemy and shoot missiles at them from behind, like, yeah, with missiles, I could see that being kind of useful, but it's not reliable. You're better off leaving your gimbal mounts on. So let's reassign this. For some reason, I always just have permanently 4 gimbal mounts. Another strange oddity with the game. Hey, it kept my weapon this time though, so thank you for that. You're better off keeping your gimbal mounts back here. Don't put fixed weapons on a rear-facing, I guess, parameter, trajectory. That's just a bad idea overall. You're asking for trouble. Unless you fully intend on flying backwards everywhere, but that's not a very good option. If it were railguns, actually, I could argue if you could put railguns, you can't at this time. If you could, though, put a railgun on the back, slowly approach your enemies, and try and break their line that way, and then you could thrust out of there real quickly and make a very quick escape. Not possible right now in the present state of the game, but it's a funny idea nonetheless. So again, with the rear facing, we can put the ball mounts. The ball gimbals might be worth it. The GSU 218s do pack a significant punch, but the 118s arguably do as well. They are 15 mil. I don't recommend downgrading your ball or your gimbal to the size 2. Like, yeah, sure, you have only 500 rounds, so it'll be lighter, but your rate of fire is 50 rounds per minute less, so you are missing out some damage per second there. I will say these being more accurate do kind of make it a viable option. And I generally don't recommend the X210 or the X212 because they fire way too quickly or heat way too quickly, and then they're just unreliable. As a multiple point defense platform, it might be suitable, but at that rate, you might as well just put lasers. If you had lasers all around as point defense, they work just as well. Especially for that close-in weapon system, which we all know as CWIS. So that's my overall thoughts of the loadout and hardpoints of the ship. Not a lot going for it. You got the same amount of customization, just not to the same extent as the medium-sized ship. In a squadron, this role could be potentially a missile platform / gunship, or just gunship, or missile defense. It could be very useful in that kind of role-playing. One thing I did want to say, and this is actually very cool, the customization for the hull, it splits it up. So first of all, it splits it up into the rear hull, which is back here. Then you have your front hull, which is here. Then you have your mid hull, which is here on the side in the middle of the ship, but also in the very front. So that's actually kind of cool. Emissive extra detail means like these here and the lights. So your warning lights, flashing lights, cockpit lights, and then decals on the top. So the warning, I just changed them to green, but you can keep them yellow and it looks professional as well. So yeah, it's just something I noticed. I like messing around with the livery on this. It made it very customizable and very fun. The default plus, let's see. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, I see it now. It just changes up some of the paint scheme, but yeah, mess around with that, have fun with it. Of course, mess around with patterns. You can change the pattern colors of things and have some fun with that as well. The middle one I left alone because I wanted this to be black. I didn't want it to be its own paint scheme. And then of course, if you name the livery down here and you can save it, click on liveries, go over to your liveries later on, and you can just automatically apply it as such. So yeah, that's what my overall analysis of the ship is. It's fun to fly. It's definitely gives you that heavy transport feel without any of the responsibility of being a heavy transport, because currently, again, in the game, there are no actual transportation objectives. So later on, that might be a really fun aspect, a really fun mission, is you're carrying a load or something like that. So we'll see what the developers have in plan for that. But let me know what you think. Do you enjoy this game? Do you enjoy this ship? Do you enjoy the weirdness of it? Because, like I said, I feel like these missiles are just gonna like flap down and then you can shoot missiles from it. Are you looking forward to further updates, or are you gonna stick with other simulation type games? Either way, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Hitting that like button does a lot for me and a lot more than you know. And until next time, I'm SethOnDuty, signing off.